Amie Mariah.
And what do you do, Amie Mariah?
I make videos on the YouTubes. They're kind of random at the moment. I just kind of do things that I think are really funny. So I'll eat pizza for a week or try crocodile burgers. And I also kind of do like fashion things, like trying on really cheap bikinis and testing them in the shower to see how see-through they are, which sounds a lot more scandalous than it is. I swear, there's lots of censoring. But yeah, that's what I do.
So how are you enjoying VidCon?
VidCon is great. It's really cool that we have stuff like this here in Australia. Like, I've been YouTubing since I was like 14, 13, very young, and I would have loved to do something like this as a kid. So the fact that like 21-year-old me can now like go to VidCon and say she's been to VidCon, I like literally fangirled so hard when they're like, hey, there's a VidCon in Melbourne. It's literally 10 minutes away from you. I was like, yeah.
So have you seen any YouTubers here today?
I saw Frenchie. I took a picture with Frenchie. My boyfriend really likes Frenchie, so I was like, hey, I'm going to take a selfie with you for my boyfriend. And he had weird slug marks on his forehead because apparently he rolls around on the carpet like a slug. I don't know. I'm sorry, Frenchie, if you ever see this. I probably dobbed you in. But that was my interaction. And then I sat in front of Tanya Hennessy yesterday, but then I didn't really know how to interact, so I just kind of, that person was like, hey.
Well, so you've made some friends here because the people we interviewed before are you
my friends
befriended? Yeah.
Yeah. So there's actually a YouTube Australia page where it's like all Australian YouTubers. So I'd connected with her through that, seen her around. Like, we both are pretty active on each other's videos. Like, I watch her videos, she watched mine. That's what that means. Yeah. I'm kind of rambling, sorry. But yeah, so it was really cool to actually meet her in person because like that was someone who I'd interacted with over the internet. I'm like, hey, you exist. Like, I can touch you now. So yeah, and there's a few other people who I'd never heard of before who just I've approached. So no, it's cool to meet people who do the same thing as you. So you're kind of like, oh hey, you're a weirdo that talks to a camera too. Great. I'm not as weird as everyone else thinks. Like, because most people kind of like, oh, you talk to a camera. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's good to be with your fellow humans.
And who's inspired you to do this, to start your channel, to?
Ooh, okay. One of my biggest inspirations is Superwoman. I absolutely adore Superwoman. I also really love Sophia Nygaard. She's someone else who I take lots of inspiration from for my channel. You know, if you're like them, you should check me out, please. But yeah, no, I don't know. As I said, I've been YouTubing since I was really young. I kind of stopped for a couple of years, and now I'm getting to the point where I'm 21 and I need to do something with my life. And YouTube's the only thing I've actually been consistently passionate about. So, I don't know. Mainly my biggest inspiration with my boyfriend was like, you watch so many YouTube videos. Like, you spend hours watching YouTube videos. How about you take all the time you put into watching them and actually make them? And I was like, yeah, that's a pretty smart idea. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So, that's what happened. And now I'm doing videos again. Yay!
So what advice would you have for people who want to start doing YouTube or creating videos?
Just start. That's the biggest thing. Just start. And once you start, be consistent. If it's something you want to do, just post videos. Because yes, these days, quality is something that people do look for more, but the main thing is just personality. So if you were just getting yourself out there, being a personality, connecting with people, you're going to grow an audience, and then you can build and make the best quality videos that you can make over time. But mainly, like, just don't stress about anyone else. Don't care about what other people think. If it's something that you think you're interested in, just do it. And it's really addicting, I promise. Once you start, you won't stop. So yeah, and just also, that's the other thing. Sorry, I have lots of advice. Don't be discouraged if you don't grow quickly. I think in these days and age, everyone thinks that they can get to 1 million really quickly, but it's like the people that have 1 million have been doing this for years. Like, if it's something that you truly are passionate about, just stick with it and it will grow over time. But it might take you 3 years, 4 years of hard work to actually find your audience and your people. But just don't get discouraged when, you know, your video doesn't go viral immediately. It might take you 2 years to get a video that actually goes viral. So just be patient, stick with it. If you love it, it shouldn't be that hard to do anyway.
So were you ever like really discouraged, or did you nearly stop at any point? Did you have to overcome anything to get where you are now?
Not really. I was never discouraged because, like, as a young kid, when I first started, just the fact that I was like, oh my God, 20 people are watching me. Like, I couldn't wrap my head around that. I thought that was awesome. But when I was making videos when I was younger, now it's a pretty big thing. I mean, hey, we have VidCon Melbourne now. But back when I was a kid, it was really, really weird. So my biggest fear was that people from my school would find my videos. Like, I lived in fear. I didn't mention my last name anywhere because then it could be, like, linked to me. Literally, I think I had one person from my school subscribe to my channel and I blocked her because I was like, no, this is not for you. So that was my biggest fear. It's just, like, I was terrified that people were going to judge me. And then I think, like, 3 years later, people actually found it and, like, posted the videos on my wall. And I got to the point where I was like, I don't actually care anymore. I'm proud of this. Like, I built 3,000 subscribers out of doing this. That's pretty decent. Like I said, this was when I was like 14, 15. So like for a young kid, I was like, you know what? I'm doing pretty good. So that's the other thing, is just don't care what people think. I think I've said that already, but just don't care. Do not care what people think. Yeah.
And what is your favorite type of video to film or make, or just?
I really do like trying to do the more filmography, like vloggy kind of like cinematic videos, just because that's a challenge for me. So I do like challenging myself, but I also just really love just to be able to sit in front of a camera and just be an idiot. And then if people turn around and be like, hey, you're actually really funny, I'm like, I'm not the only one that laughs at my jokes. Like, that's pretty good. So I don't know what's my favorite video. Actually, no, I do. The ones where I eat food. I like food. If I can eat food and make a video, that is like dreams come true. So there we go.
And what is if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Ooh, that's really hard. Okay, I love like Fiji and like all like beachy kind of things. So like, look, if they're like, you can only go to one country ever, I'd probably pick somewhere like the Maldives, or just somewhere where there's like beaches and I can just lay there and
different
chill.
from Melbourne.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm very lucky. I live in Melbourne. It's one of like the best places in the world. So it's all, like, I see cities, I see rivers that are really polluted, but we don't have we have beaches, but they suck. So I would like a nice beach, because Melbourne beaches are literally like water, really dirty sand, and a couple syringes, which is not nice.
Our friends at Wyndham Resort are actually offering a 5-night opportunity for 2 friends to stay at their luxury Bali hotel resort. So you
Bali.
can, Bali.
Hello.
So that's beaches. So you can enter that by tagging friends on our posts and liking our page. So yeah,
Get on it, and I will also get onto that, because that sounds sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much
That's
for letting
all right.
us
Thank
interview
you.
here today.
This has been
And
lots of
thank
fun.
you. And bye. I'll see you later.